All right, so we're gonna get started here. So, yesterday we started off. Doing some intro to two-column proofs. Today we're gonna really get into two-column proofs. So, we are looking at proving triangles congruent today. So today we're gonna learn two different methods. We're still gonna do two-column proofs for both of them, but there's two different ways. So, we basically did this first one yesterday. So if I have two triangles, one way that I can prove that they are congruent is if I can prove that all three sides match up with all three sides on another triangle. And this is called the side-side-side postulate, or sometimes I might say side-side-side method. And just basically what it means, if you match up a side, and then a second side, and then a third side, if they're all congruent, then you have congruent triangles. And the way this works is basically what we did yesterday, except the only thing that's going to change is at the very end with our congruency statement. So let's make a quick two-column proof here. And I forgot to draw your little thing like this, so that was my bad. For your two-column proof.
We all have pins, Mr. Funky.
What?
No.
Alright, so if I'm going to prove that ABC is congruent to DEF, I'm going to show that AB is congruent to something, BC is congruent to something, and CA is congruent to something. So if I have side AB, what is that going to be congruent to, Caleb?
DE.
Yep, DE. And how do you know?
Because it's given.
Yep, it's given. It's got one dash, DE's got one dash, my reason is given. This is kind of a boring one, but the reason is because it's given. Alright, there's one side. If I'm going to get a second side, BC, it's going to be congruent to which side, Carissa?
Yeah.
And the reason is because?
Given.
Yep. Like I said, kind of a boring one. My last side, if I'm going to look at CA, Tyler, what's that going to be congruent to?
F and D.
F, D. Yep. And same reason, given. So, when I went through this, I have shown that I have one side, two sides, three sides. I have shown three sides of this triangle to be congruent. That is enough information to say that these two triangles are congruent to each other. So, the way I state that formally now is kind of like what we did yesterday. I'm going to say, and I'm going to go over here where I have space because I don't have a ton down there. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF, and then this is where it's a little different. When I prove two triangles are congruent, now that we've learned a little bit more, we need to give the reason or the method we used to show these are congruent. We used side, side, side. So, ABC is congruent to DEF by side, side, side. And when I usually abbreviate it as SSS, just because I don't like writing out the whole thing, because I'm lazy. So you should be lazy too, and not write it all out. Just go SSS. I guess you can write it out for one of those weird people who like to write. But. So ABC is congruent to DEF by side, side, side. And we need this last piece for it to be completely correct. And if I switch slides and you're still working on this, let me know so I can wait, because there's a lot of writing, and if I go too fast, just let me know. So is anybody still working on this one?
Sure.
You have to move fast?
Yeah.
All right. So we are not going to be doing much with side, 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 just because we did that basically all yesterday. Even though we didn't say side, side, side yesterday, it's what we did. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time. The second method that we're going to use today, at least, is called side angle side. So if I have two sides, in the included angle, an included angle is between sides. An included angle is between two sides of one triangle. If all three of those are congruent, then I have congruent triangles. So I'm going to look at these two triangles right here. I've got a side that matches up. I got another side that matches up. And then I have angle A and angle D. They are both congruent because this angle is between my sides, I can use the side angle side method. Because I have a side, I've got an angle, and I've got a side. Side, angle, side. And just like before, we're going to do a 2-column proof. Sorry, I forgot to do this little thing right here again.
Don't worry, it's not your fault.
This, like, 75% of this chapter is doing these 2-column proofs.
Are you serious?
Yes.
This can be so bad.
They get more interesting later.
Sure.
Because these first two are pretty easy. But they'll get a little tougher later. So, I'm going to go through and I'm going to match up my different pieces here. So I'm going to start with this first side. I have BA, side BA is congruent to side ED. And my reasons are pretty boring on this one, but that's okay, because it's given. And what I'm doing is I am starting at an edge. So I'm starting up here at the top, and I'm just going around. I'm doing the side, and then the angle, and then the side. And I'm showing that they all match. So I did my first side. I'm going to do my angle now. Angle A is congruent to angle B. And again, I got some boring reasons. Just given. And then I'm still going around here. I did my side, my angle, my last side. AC is congruent to DF for another boring reason given. So I have my side, I've got my angle, I've got my side. I have enough information, or I've shown that these two triangles are congruent, but I have to actually write it. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle EDF, and because now that we're getting more into these, I have to say by side, angle, side. And just like before, I'm lazy, so I'm just going to abbreviate it. Side, angle, side. This is basically all we're doing today. We are just going to be practicing this a little bit more, and we're going to do some more interesting problems. Ones that aren't quite so, won't have so many givens. Because givens are boring. Alright. Anybody still working on this one? Take that as a no. Alright. So we're going to prove these two triangles are congruent here. Actually, you know what? This is exactly the same as the last one, except with different letters. So you know what? We're going to skip.
And the triangles are shaped different.
Well, yeah, but I
And
mean,
they're pointed in different
given,
ways.
side, angle, side, side, angle, side. Yeah, this is boring. Let's get into a fun one. Okay, we're going to look at some of these triangles here, and we're going to say what methods can we use to show these triangles are congruent. So we've learned two methods. We've learned side, side, side. We've learned side, angle, side. We're going to see which of those two methods we can use on these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my first one, and I'm going to label everything I know. So I know that I have a side and a side. I've got a side and another side, and then a side and a side here. So to help do these, as I look through them, I'm going to label them, and then I'm going to kind of go around my triangle and see if I have something that works. So this one, it's pretty obvious. What method can I use on this one?
Side, side, side.
Yeah. Side, side, side. I would use the side, side, side method on this first one. Do I have any angles in here at all?
No.
No. So, let's look at this top right one now. I have a side
Angle.
here. I do have an angle,
And then side.
and then I have a third side, or excuse me, a second side. All right, but let's look at these. If I look at my left triangle here,
Yeah,
I have
that's looking-
side, angle, side, right?
Yeah.
Do I have side, angle, side on the second one?
No.
No, I have side, side,
Angle.
angle. We're gonna go that way, not the other way. Come on, that was funny.
That was a confusing.
Angle side to side.
No, I can spell. I'll do it either.
Side.
So, I can't use side, side, side because I don't have three sides.
Okay.
I can't use side, angle, side because my second triangle right here, my angle is not between my sides. So on this one, I can't use anything, it's none. There is no method I could use. Okay, let's look at this bottom one down here. We can use side, side, side. That's true. That's an easy part. But let's keep looking at it a little bit. So real quick, side, 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 side. We know, even though it doesn't say it, we actually know something else in here.
There's angles too.
There is an angle in here. Which angles?
In between the sides.
Yeah, or where about?
In each corner.
Right in the middle, right? Don't we have these right here?
Yeah.
Remember what kind of angles those are called?
Vertical.
Those are vertical angles. So, I also have angles in here. So we got to be careful. A lot of what we're doing, not
Wait.
so much this lesson, but later lessons when they get tougher, is you have to figure out, oh wait, I have vertical angles in here. Or, oh wait, I have alternate interior angles in here. So we got to watch out for those kinds of things. Yeah, Chloe. Question? Okay.
I have a question. Oh wait, gotta get to it.
Okay.
It's on the paper.
So, not only can I use side, 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 I can also go side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. So this one I can actually use either method.
One.
I don't know.
I'm confused.
What?
The homework thing, you put down 2 homeworks pages.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll probably do the
We'll
shorter
figure it
one,
out.
huh?
We probably do the
Yeah,
long
unless you
one.
make me mad, then we're gonna do the long one.
Doing both.
Alright, let's look at, yeah,
Oh,
okay.
gosh.
Let's look at our last one here real quick.
Yeah, see?
This one is pretty easy for at least
Oh, yeah.
one. I have side,
Side,
and side, right?
Inside.
so I have side, side, side.
Angle,
Alright, I
angle,
also have an angle.
But that shouldn't work because it doesn't look perfect.
Yep, and so that is actually a good thing here. So, I have side, angle, side. But, my first side is 2. Then I go to my angle, and then I go to the side 3. If I start here with side 2, I go to my angle. Do I end at side 3?
Nope.
No.
No. So even though I have side, angle, side, it's in the wrong order. So you gotta be careful. You really have to look and make sure you have the right angle in between the right sides. This is between side 2 and side 3. This one is between side 2 and side 1. So it doesn't work. If I had this side right here, if I had this one, excuse me, this angle right there, then it would be fine. I could do side, angle, side. But I don't have it, so I can't do it. So be careful. Alright. Now it's your guys' turn.
Yay.
So let's just do the first one for right now. Let's do this left one. I want you to prove these 2 triangles are congruent. Prove they're congruent. So on your own, go through, look at your triangle, see what matches up, decide what method you're going to use, and then start writing out your columns. Your 2-column proof. Mm-hmm.
I got nothing.
So go through and look what matches up first.
BA.
Decide if you can do side, 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 or side, angle, side. And make sure you have stuff matches up the right way. You might have a side, angle, side, but maybe it's in the wrong order. If you finish the first one, you can move on to the second one. But we're going to do it one at a time first.
It's also given home.
What?
This one.
Which ones?
These two, BC and ACD. Are those given?
A, B, and D, C?
Yeah, AD and BC.
Oh, A, D, and D, C.
Same like.
Same like, okay, I thought it was.
No, they said the other one. Because it has the numbers there.
Yeah. And then DB and then DB.
On the with the same numbers, I've seen where people call it given before, but that's not as helpful to me. Given is when they literally have the little dashes. To me, this is like, oh, I have the same.
Same line. Yeah.
Oh, they have the same way.
Boom.
More helpful.
I got
Even
the
though you're
BC.
mocking me.
So it's a side, side, side.
Does it say
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's my time. I'll give you about another minute or so for this first one.
Let me.
If you're done with the first one, you can start on the second.
Yeah, I did it backwards on accident, and I'll give it an
You did the second one?
No,
Or
first. I did this part backwards. That's all. C, D, and A, B. I did those two backwards. That's it. He was confused. Yeah, it still works.
What?
C, D, and A, B.
Oh, that's what I do. I just come back with. But you have to write it.
Why could I use?
All right, let's get started. Ryan, give me. All right, Ryan. What method did you use on this first one?
S, and S.
Yep, side, side, side. Okay.
S.
So, what was your first side that you did?
A, B is going to C, D.
Okay. What's your reason?
Given.
That's easy. Tyler, what's another side?
DB and DB.
Okay. What's your reason?
Same one. Same side.
Same line.
Yeah,
Same line.
Same. I
Same
pick
line.
one.
Same line or same side?
Same one.
Yeah, it's. I mean, same line, same side, same thing.
How?
It's been a long day. I'm finding that funny. All right, and then our last side. What's the last side we're missing, Joseph?
A, D, B, C.
Thanks, Joseph.
Do it. He's
All right, AD
I know he got it. It's just I just wanted to say it.
is congruent to
C.
CB.
Oh, CB.
And then what's your reason, Joseph?
Same line.
Yep, same length. All right, and then our last thing, we need to write our congruency statement. So we got to say that triangle ABD is congruent to triangle
C, D, D.
uh,
Did I put D, D?
ABD CDB
Yeah.
by side, side, side. We need to have that last part in there. I tend to forget about this part, so if I ever don't write it, let me know. All right, if this
Yeah,
piece
does
right
make
here.
sense?
Like the whole thing?
All right, let's look at. I want you to start on the second one now. This one's a little different. You got to think about it a little bit more.
Oh, it has an A. Okay. That's that.
So go through this one.
Oh, I think I got it.
Go through this one.
Because it's vertical.
Maybe, but don't say it out loud so nobody else gets it. Make them think. Feel them.
It's
Think.
There's an A in there.
Same right here.
I know there's an A.
alternate.
Yeah, alternate.
So go through the second one. Give it a shot. This one's a little tougher. So if you're not quite sure how to do it, at least give me a couple pieces of it.
Oh, yeah.
Water on this corner.
You. I hate my nose right now. These two work. Or just these.
Do we know anything about this side right here?
Did you take that? No, I didn't take it.
Can we see that?
Okay,
Or any numbers or dashes? No, so we actually can't say that. So it's not given or anything. Yeah. So we don't know anything about this side, so we can't use it. So we're not going to use side, 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 are we? What do you say about those angles in there? Which ones? Here and here, right? So we're going to say angle RSQ.
Oh.
It's going to to UST because they're.
How do I know if it's an angle? Like, do I put same angle?
Yeah.
This one's
What?
Yep.
You get it?
Yep. The last side now.
So SSA. SSA. Really?
SAS. Remember, angle needs to be between the two sides.
It always reminds me of the church.
There's a church named SAS.
Last week.
I'm not a church going like you guys.
What church?
I don't know. That's what they call SAS.
Never heard of that kind of.
Yeah, me neither.
It's not a true.
I think the British Air Force, but.
What?
What?
What British Air Force? What about that?
Can you answer
You
that?
went through that?
Oh, maybe it's RA. I don't know. I thought SAS was Air Force. But no, that's RA. I don't know anymore.
Can you answer credit?
In a minute. I'm done with this one. Alright, let's start us off then, Trista. What method do you use?
SAS.
Okay.
That's Marines.
So give me your first side.
Or special. One of those two.
Side
It's not-
RS
It's not airplane.
Okay.
I should know this.
Yep.
and side US.
What's your reason?
Same like.
Okay.
Can I do next?
Alright. And then Tiana, what's the angle we have in here? Yeah.
Sorry.
You okay back
I
there?
had a seat. Very cool.
Yes? Where are they at?
Yes.
Yeah. So this piece and this piece are vertical, right? Kylie, do you remember how we write that? How we write those two angles?
RSQ.
So on this, because S is right in the middle, I can't just say angle S. So you gotta think back, way back to like chapter 1, I think. We have to list our 3 points. R, S, Q.
That's a good one. I should've
You have to
thought
say
of that. I
angle
should've thought of
R,
that. I'm
S,
stupid.
Q is congruent to angle U, S, T. We gotta use 3 letters for this angle because I can't just say S because there's a bunch of pieces to S.
Oh, wait, that's good.
So I have to use RSQ and UST. And my reason is because they are vertical. And then my last one, Quana, what's my last set of sides?
Be RQ and UT.
Close. But do we have any numbers right here?
Hope you're gonna die.
No.
No. So we gotta pick another side.
So QST.
So QS, right? And then the other one is TS. So I have side QS congruent to side TS, and these are the same length. Alright, and then we are almost done. We have to write our last congruency statement, which I forget a lot. So, we're going to go triangle.
Exit ticket was easy. Holy cow.
RSQ is congruent to triangle. That's a terrible triangle, but I don't care. UST by SAS. Side angle side.
No, I'm just waiting until one exit ticket.
Yeah, there we
Here,
go.
that's a tidbit.
I know.
Got the triangle look a little bit better. They're fancy now. Oh yeah. Alright. Alright, that's it.
What?
So, if you haven't yet, start on your exit ticket.
Turn subscribe on this.
I'll turn subscribe
Oh,
on.
you
Hang
know,
on. I will put your homework on Google Classroom in a second. I'm not 100% sure which homework problems we're going to do, so I'll tell you in a second.